Recently, I just started watching this video on. It's called "Inside the World of Fighting Games," and they was talking about black women in video games, and talking about like it was Cuddlecore, uh, the Purple Sharpie. They were talking about their experience in the video game industry, and obviously they're facing some discrimination because you know they're women, especially black girls, and playing video games. And so you hear this argument all the well. Before I even get to the argument, so again, they're doing what they do, playing video games. I mean, why would I have a problem with that? I have no problem with that. And so then it was like this one time I was watching this video a couple months ago, and this little weak mayonnaise eating hoe is going to be talking about like these black women playing video games and asking for like the systems. Like I think they wanted the PlayStation 5 and Xbox before it came out, because they're content creators, and they said these companies are ignoring black female content creators. Now the dude in the video was talking about like basically making fun of it, but he is not looking at it just on some like I see where they're coming from. It's just this antagonistic type attitude, basically like why are they complaining? And I'm watching these videos and I'm looking at them like this going back to Cuddlecore, I think it was her, and she was part of the XO Academy teaching women how to play Tekken and everything. And so there was obviously some pushback saying how where the dudes at in one of these like female centric you know game game groups. And so it's like the people that are usually saying something about this is usually white males. You don't see black dudes saying shit about this. It's just like, oh, they got their own organization, cool. It's just cool. It's just like whatever. I mean, if you're wondering where the dudes at, I mean, then just make your own or get hooked up to an already existing community. I mean, why you trying to interject your shit with these black women acting like that? That's the problem. I mean, on some real shit, if you a real dude, you're not going to care about that. And even in the things I'm saying, I'm not talking about all white people. Let me preface that because I don't want people to be in their fifis and acting like I'm talking about the whole group. Don't condemn don't condemn a whole group of people by the actions of a few. That's a line from an old TV show. And so I feel like, but going back, yes, white people that play video games, all of them are not racist, but a large majority of them are the ones constantly talking shit about certain groups of people just trying to live and not face any harassment. And they got these little weak, corny videos always talking about shit. Now, if you caught them in real life and got in their face talking about some real shit, like, no, you're not in your basement. Now you in the real world. Talk that shit now. I guarantee you they'll be like, oh, it's just satire. Okay, it's not funny. It sounds stupid. Fuck that satire argument because you can't keep using it. That's gonna run out. You're gonna have to. Somebody's gonna say something. If they catch you in real life, and you notice a lot of these dudes always got these little avatars, like they never want to show their faces. Just like this particular dude that sat up there and was like, Colin Kaepernick was engaged in a media circus for taking a knee. But I guarantee you, he didn't have that same energy about the insurrection on January 6th. That was a media circus because you got a whole bunch of mayonnaise, lice-ridden assholes being mad because their dude lost. But if you confront them by themselves, they want to turn pussy and run, just like that chick on that confronted him on this dude on CNN. You know, he's proud and he's part of some racist organization, but when he got caught up in real life by himself, you're like, oh, I'm gonna call the police. Where was all that energy at, you bitch? You see what I'm saying? You want to call the same police you beat up and killed at the insurrection. And that whole thing about that insurrection just goes to show you how hypocrite that look. I must just say this. If you're cool, let me preface this again because I don't want people to get in their fifis. If you're cool, I'm not talking about you. But white people's arguments fell flat. You saw how hypocritical white people are, the double standards and everything. You can't talk about Target anymore and Walmart talking about you're destroying your own community and Colin Kaepernick was a media circus. You stormed the capital of the United States government. You're supposed to be a patriot, but you're attacking your own country's government, on your own company, your own government's Capitol building, the government building. I mean, this is where they hold laws at and shit, and you literally tried to destroy the shit. So Target is low-hanging fruit, bro, compared to the Capitol building. So all that whole Blue Lives Matter bullshit, that falls flat. You was only agreeing with it because it was harming black people. But since this is against you, now you talk about, oh, fuck the police. Oh, we're not going to support you guys no more. So what happened to all the blue lives? Like they're Smurfs. What happened to that? See, that's what I'm saying. People are tired of the bullshit. People are just tired of the shit. And you got too many racist people in these organizations and that always talking shit. I'm not talking about every white gamer or every white person in the industry that make games, but I mean, it's a lot of people that's always talking shit all the time. You can't let these black chicks just live and just try to, you know, just play games and just hang out. But it's like, oh, and then they got this, then these dudes that's always talking shit got this rapist mentality, like, oh, just shut up and play the game and enjoy it. I mean, but if they're facing discrimination, why should they enjoy the shit? It's hard to enjoy the shit when some bitches breathing down their neck. So I'm like, dude, there's always somebody talking shit all the time. Again, if this is not you, then just be like, yeah, that is fucked up, and just try to make the situation better. But it's just always some dude talking shit. And I mean, sometimes it's women too, because there was this one chick talking about the ending of Mortal Kombat, talking about Jack's ending was racist because he went back in time and stopped slavery. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, if a lot of black people had a time machine, I'm pretty sure that would be one of the things they would try to stop. But since you're tone deaf and can't see the actual argument, then you would have a problem with that. Because it just goes to show you how racist you are. If you got a problem with that. And then Jack's ending is most likely not even the real ending. You know, it's like Liu Kang's ending or somebody else like that that's like the true ending. But you want to be that upset talking about some shit that didn't even technically happen in the real game. Because like I said, the Mortal Kombat and NetherRealms, whoever makes Mortal Kombat, they're not going to give Jax that real ending. But again, you want to be mad because black people are trying to, you know, just basically not take the shit no more. That's what you want to be mad at. Shit that's not even arguable in the real world. Like, well, I mean, you talking about Jack's a fictional dude, but you want to get mad, and that goes to show you with that whole thing about we don't want politics in video games. That argument is bullshit, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Ghost of Tsushima had politics in video games. It was about the mongrels, the samurais, the shoguns, all that. Nobody had a problem with that. But when it comes to like Red Dead Redemption or something like that, then you have this one white dude. He was a white guy that made this video talking about he didn't like the parts about the Native American story. You know, because basically white people don't have a problem with politics in video games unless it's talking about what they've done in history, what white people have done to somebody in history. That's the thing. This is really not the politics. It's like we just don't want to feel guilty when we play our video games because we're trying to escape this shit. And now you making us feel guilty and bringing up the shit we did. But then even with that stupid ass argument, like you're trying to, because I got on some dude about this shit. Like, you want escapism in video games, but then you want realism in it. Well, like, which one is it? It's Fantasyland, bro. I mean, you're gonna have to pick one or the other. Like, stop with that whole shit. Come up with a different word in the dictionary besides immersion. That sounds stupid after you used it 100 times. But anyway, so then it was like this one dude. I'm watching his video. See, and you know what a part of the problem is? A lot of white people that make these videos act like their audience is they act like their audience is all white. People that play their game, I mean, watch their little whack ass videos, I guess they assume that their audience is predominantly white. So it's like we could say whatever we want to and not face any backlash. You know, because everybody that watches our shit is going to agree with us. So, because that goes, like, when I was watching this one video and this dude said something funny. And he was like, he kind of had to backtrack because dude, he said something about chilling. Supposed to say children. But he said chilling, and so the dude next to him knew that, you know, that was kind of fucked up. So he was like, "Yo, don't do," and it kind of was talking low because he knew he fucked up. And I'm watching that, trying to learn what the dude was saying, but then it's like some random racist shit going on. You know, some stupid shit like that. They, like I said, they act like other people are not watching this shit. And so this one dude, he made this video about the whole social justice warrior type bullshit. That argument is completely stupid because if somebody talked about them like I'm doing now, I guarantee you they're going to be social justice warriors on their side, and they're going to be snowflakes on their side. So trying to demonize the other side as if you're not doing the same thing is stupid. Anyway, so the dude, this one actor guy, I guess he's an actor. I don't know who he is. And he was talking about the beginning of Street Fighter. And he was saying how racist it was. So the dude that made the video played this song, and it was how he put these particular lyrics on the video when he paused it was completely offensive. Because that part of the song basically was saying what the dude that made the video wanted to say but couldn't because he didn't want to seem overtly racist. But just doing that shit was racist. You see what I'm saying? And it's just like the whole thing about like one of these games, one of these Resident Evils, I don't play the shit, but they were like the white protagonist was like killing African zombies, and then there was this other game, they were like in Louisiana shooting black zombies and shit. And it's like, you know, the people that made these videos, these white guys, because they're usually white, is going to sit up there and be like, oh, we don't see the problem with that shit. Like, you don't see how fucked up those visuals are? come on, dude. It's just always some little weak ass bitch always talking shit all the time. I guarantee you they wouldn't come up in my face saying some shit because they would get smoked. Something bad will happen to them. Cause I'm with the shit. I had to redo this video like 2 times because I was saying some crazy shit. But like I said, don't come up to me just for your own safety. For your own safety, I'm looking at the camera. For your own safety, don't say no shit in front of me. Just say the shit in your basement or wherever you reside at to make your video. Don't come in my face saying some shit because you ain't gonna like the outcome. I'm with the shit for real. I might be doing this, making my own game or whatever, but there's another side of me you just don't want to find out. You just don't want to find out, bro. And then, but like I said, going back to this whole thing, and like you're seriously sitting up there talking about these black chicks as if you don't see it. That's just certain people, certain white people are tone deaf. Just certain ones. Some people get it. Some people get it, but some just got issues. They just got issues on some real shit. Like I said, I'm not going to seriously sit up there and complain about these girls. Like I said, that EXO Academy, and then there was some other thing they did. I mean, I'm like, look, that's cool. I don't have to be involved in the shit. I'm not going to get mad about them playing video games. I'm like, look, they're good at what they do. Let them do the shit. I know I wouldn't play against them because I get smoked. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, when you see these videos about these dudes, like I said, you just see you more times than not, it's just always some white guy always talking shit all the time. But like I said, they don't know how to function in the real world. That's why you don't see their faces sometimes. Like the dude talking about Kaepernick was a media circus. Like I said, was that shit at the insurrection? That wasn't a media circus. That was real cool. Going against the United States government, you claim you're a patriot, you like the police, and some police died that was a Trump supporter. So that was like friendly fire. And then all that shit about like, oh, I fear for my life, but that would be, the insurrection would be a very good time to fear for your life, but nothing. So we like I said, the hypocrisy was just on a whole nother level. It's just a whole nother level. But I'm just like, I mean, the dude that put out that video was completely offensive. But it's like, I'm not like, I'm just saying, it just was. You see what I'm saying? It's like when you see like the one black dude dying in movies and video games and TV shows, that shit is offensive. And whoever makes that shit and kills off the one black person in their movies, video games, or whatever, you're just racist. Why? Because I stated this before. Anytime you create a story, you're thinking about this story and you're writing the shit down on paper. This is your fantasies come to life. That just indicates to me that you have a fantasy of killing black people. The one black person in your movie or whatever it is your representation of all black people. So you kill off the one black person in your shit, in your story. That's in your mind saying, I want to kill off all black people because the one black person is the representation of all of us. You see what I'm saying? Like this one dude they claim is so progressive that made this video about this game about zombies. He killed off like the two brothers in the first one. Then and then a black chick in the first. So he killed off like 3 black people. And then like in the new one or whatever, then he killed off another group. It's just like he constantly keeps doing the shit. But you say, oh, he's progressive. Right. Seeing a lot, and the truth be told, a lot of black people now starting to look at this whole progressivism like, I mean, kind of being looked at funny style. Because some people said, oh, reparations is divisive. But you know, he got his group got shit. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, you just see the racism in the whole shit. You know what I mean? But like I said, going back to what I was saying, it's just like when you do shit like that, it's just an indicator. This is like, oh, that's where you coming from. Matter of fact, it was a while ago. I remember my friend and I was like going through, we saw, what was that? The Ninja Turtles movie back in 2014. And he was like, we saw like the trailer to Interstellar. And you know, we made like a joke. Now, like, I'm just going by what he said though. Now, we was making a joke at the time, like, oh, there's a black dude, watch him die. So years later, he saw the movie on HBO and he was like, yeah, remember that black dude in Interstellar? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, he died. And I was like, oh, that's not a surprise. So whoever made Interstellar, I'm just what am I supposed to say to that? You know what I mean? I mean, that's how the shit comes off. That's exactly how that shit comes off. So I'm just like, that's just how it is. I mean, it's just, I'm not making the rules. I'm seeing certain shit, and that's just how it comes off. That's just how it comes off. You know what I'm saying? And then it's funny, in 2021, we're still having these type of issues. We're still having these type of issues. Like, it's like out of all the things that in human history, I would say racism has been going on for longer than every other social issue ever. You know what I'm saying? And just looking at the whole like black experience and everything, it was like, damn, we never did anything to anybody globally. Like all the wars that was started, you know what I mean? Like we never called. Matter of fact, we fought for America. You know what I mean? America never gave us reparations for that shit. And if you don't agree with reparations, then I really can't fuck with you. I really can't fuck with you. American reparations in this country, if you just like, I was just like, okay, I see where you coming from. You know what I mean? All that whole thing about where would we get the money from? It's like, stop. If you knew where your tax dollars went to, you wouldn't say some shit like that. You know what I mean? If you just don't agree with it, then there's nothing else to say, bro. There's just nothing else to say. I mean, it's not divisive when you got your group getting the shit, or like other people got shit when they was treated wrong, but you know what I mean? I mean, I'm just not here for the conversation if you disagree with the shit. I don't give a fuck who you are. You know what I mean? I mean, if you all trying to talk about healing the country and shit, but you don't want to fix America's original sin, then we're just gonna be at a standstill. I mean, nothing's gonna change then. You could do all that whole unification, all that kumbaya bullshit if you want to, but it's just stuff is never gonna change. But going back to what I was saying about these black chicks and shit, it's like if you got a problem with them trying to be in the game industry and you sending them like all these kind of weird messages and death threats and shit, then you got a problem. Hell, even with Laura Bailey, that she was in The Last of Us, and it's just like you sending her death threats, bro. just because she killed homeboy. It's like she's just playing a character. But again, I guarantee you, the people that was sending her death threats did not look like me. So it's just like this weird shit. And the reason why these dudes like all this zombie shit, because it's the others. You know, it's representing the others. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically why they like the zombie bullshit. Because it's them versus us versus them, and all this weirdo shit. That's why they like it. That's what I will say. Some people would disagree with it, but that's psychologically that's why they like it. That's why they don't have a problem with that Resident Evil game that was in Africa, because they fantasize about that shit. I mean, look, I'm not. That's just how it comes off. Y'all like that shit because it's your fantasies come to life. But it's just like that dude that made that video and he put that insensitive shit in his song, like in the song, like in that verse in his song. And it's just like they don't see how that's a problem. They really don't see, or they do see it, but they don't care. And I'm pretty sure it's the latter. But it's just like I said, like I mean, it's gonna get a time, become a time where that shit is not gonna be cool, bro. It's just not gonna be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you confront these little bitches and shit, then they're gonna be all running scared, talking about like, oh no, I'm not like that guy. It's like, stop. Stop. Before you get hurt and before you embarrass yourself, you're gonna look stupid. So don't even say nothing. Cause I mean, just like kind of getting on these chicks when they just trying to play with it. They're trying to enjoy the shit, but then there's some bitch that gotta be talking shit all the time. Like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck are we supposed to say? Because no real man would care about chicks having their own thing. No real man. But see, these dudes ain't real dudes. They're pseudo dudes. You know what I mean? Just like that one dude, and he was talking. Like I said this story before, and he was like, "Oh, women should. They should. He want to take women's rights away from them." And I'm like, "What?" See, and again, the dude that said that. I mean, what am I supposed to say? I'm pointing this shit out. He was a white guy that was talking shit. That shit was crazy. I heard that. I was like, "Whoa." I mean, so I'm just stating the obvious. Just like again, when you talk about like politics and video games, they don't like the shit when it's against them. But they have no problem with Ghost of Tsushima because there were no white dudes in that game. I'm talking about like American history. So they had no problem with that. But if it's like Red Dead Redemption or something, or saying something about like like even if now don't quote me on this. Now I think the Indo period, I think in Japan, there was some white explorer somewhere in Japan that came. Now, if Ghost of Tsushima Part 2 start talking about that, I think they might have been British or something. I don't know. Now, when I watch people start talking about like, oh, I don't like this and Ghost of Tsushima, I'm never playing that shit because now is against you as a white person now. Because I mean, you come there colonizing a group of people that didn't do anything. The fuck is that? But then Let's talk about people that never did anything to anybody. But like I said, globally speaking, black people never dropped bombs on Japan, or never like start wars in Vietnam, or the Holocaust or something, or like I said, we fought in all America's wars. No other group of people could really say that shit. But for some reason, everybody got a problem with us, got this anti-black hatred in their groups and their communities. And I'm like, wow, what did we ever do to you? That's what I want to know. I haven't asked a person this question, but that's one thing I want to know. What did we ever do to you, as like whatever group or person? You know what I'm saying? Like, we never did anything to warrant the hatred. And then if it's talking about like, oh, this is what you do in your communities, it's like, okay, bitch, but you don't live in black communities. So again, we're not doing nothing to you. So what the fuck is what's the deal? What's the issue? Talk to me. I just honestly want to know. On some real shit, I just really want to know. Cause you ain't got no argument. Cause we ain't fucking with you. Cause you don't even live around us. You know what I'm saying? See, and I'm gonna just tell a little story. I was cool, like growing up in the suburbs. I had white friends, but then they moved. Just thinking, people move, whatever, but not knowing about the whole white flight thing. Cause I mean, I was a kid. I know now. And so, in high school, I mean, it was predominantly black, but we had a sprinkle of white dudes and white people in the school. Find out later, one dude that me and my friend was cool with, he seemed like, he's one of these cop apologists and everything. Cause now he's a firefighter. And so, I see it for what it is. I had Asian friends growing up. They were Vietnamese. One dude was Chinese. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if you, I come from the philosophy is like, if you cool with me, I'm cool with you. But if you start acting funny, then I can't fuck with you, dude. Cause you acting bizarre at this point. I mean, cause you see hanging out with me, all your stereotypes will go out the window, but you persist to still act goofy. Still. But anyway. But again, I'm not here to educate nobody and be all like that kumbaya bullshit. Cause I mean, we see that shit doesn't work. But anyway. So, traveling and everything, I started living out west for a couple, like, I started living out west. And I don't know, like, even my aunt, she married a white dude. And his friends are the ones I'm talking about. His friends one of them was a Mormon. The other ones was cool. They were white. They were real cool, except for one dude. Because he had to say some crazy shit and I had to G-check him. But I guarantee, like, I'm not going to say I guarantee you this part. But if they had some feelings and they was talking amongst themselves, like, haha, black people do this, or whatever, like, you wash up like a black person, but not saying the black person, I'm just you. I'm kind of being, you wash up like an N-word. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? And it sounds stupid. This shit ain't funny. But if they had these type of feelings before, I guarantee you they wasn't gonna say some shit when they met us. You know what I'm saying? It's me, my 3 cousins, you know, my mom, my grandmother. They wasn't gonna say no crazy shit now. They only say the shit. I'm not saying they did say anything. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying hypothetically, if they did, they wasn't gonna say some shit now. Because again, what could they say? What could they say? It's just like that chick that ran up on that dude that was in the insurrection. She worked for CNN. She ran up on dude and saying like, what's up, bro? Like, do you got anything to say about your actions at the insurrection when you tried to overthrow the fucking United States government? Oh, I'm gonna call the police. Oh, the same police that you beat with the Blue Lives Matter flag and the American flag, that police you gonna call? Like I said, the hypocrisy, the whole thing on that day, the hypocrisy, the double standards, that shit was real. That shit was crazy. But, Colin Kaepernick kneeling, not saying nothing, he just took a knee. That was a media circus. But the insurrection wasn't. The motherfuckers tried to overthrow the United States. They claimed they're patriots. Patriots tried to overthrow the United States government because their dude lost. Where was all that shit? And yeah, y'all killed one of the dudes who was a Trump supporter. Where was all that I fear for my life? You had all these people that would lost eyes and fingers, lost lives. That would be a good time to fear for your life. But you want to act like a pussy and talk about I fear for my life because some dude was selling loose cigarettes or whatever the case is. Come on, dude. Stop with the bullshit. This hypocrisy. All that Blue Lives Matter. Like, what the fuck? Are you Sonic? Are you a Smurf? What the fuck is that? But we talking about injustice, how the slave catchers eventually morphed into the police, killing unarmed black people for no reason, even though we pay tax dollars to. We're just like, yo, just treat us like everybody. Just treat us with respect and dignity. Let's all treat each other with respect. No, let's bring out the military and the tanks, but none of that on the insurrection. Like I said, I'm not. If you're not like the people I'm talking about, then just you cool. Just be like, yo, that's fucked up. And this dude got a point, but I mean, you got no leg to stand on no more, bro. I mean, we already knew you didn't have a leg to stand on, because like I said, we didn't start wars around the world. We didn't do all this shit and do all this shit to other groups of people. For the most part, we trying to include every fucking body. But now people looking at it like that shit over with, bro. That shit dead. When you just can't even let black girls just enjoy video games and get it in without you saying some shit. Like I said, the arguments fall flat. They truly do, bro. They truly do. And people are just tired of it. Like I said, I'm not trying to teach people. Then you got, like it was in Utah, I think parents was trying to opt out of letting their kids hear the watered down whitewashing of black history. It's like, oh, they got to pull their kids out of school because they don't want to hear about that. Come on, dude. That's bullshit. I mean, you taking your kids out of school so they can't get an education. If you want things to change and you don't want them to hear about black history, come on, guy. That shit is just. I mean, I just find it funny. I find this shit funny. I'm not even mad at this whole shit that's going on. I'm not even mad at it. I actually find it amusing. I just find it amusing. I just sit back in the cut and just I just find it amusing. I mean, I've never heard of a school doing this until now. Where they putting their little raggedy ass kids out of school because they don't want to hear about black history. Like I said, this shit is watered down and whitewashed. And it's like I still got a problem with it. Okay. I'm like, all right. And that's why things never change. Because you got the sensitive, tone deaf little assholes making these racist videos, or trying to be like, I don't know why you're complaining about it. You're acting like a snowflake. But like I said, the second you say something about them and their group, like all gamers are not racist. I'm like, oh, you're a snowflake, are you? Triggered, are you? Like I said, stop, dude. Just stop. On some real shit. I got people on the YouTube conversations now talking shit cause I heated up on this dude in this video. I mean, just all the time. Just can't never just be like just let the shit go. Just let the shit go. Cause again, you got no leg to stand on. You really don't. But that's just how it is. You got a whole bunch of simps in this whole gaming community. Just let these companies fuck them over. And y'all still giving this shit excuses? I mean, just weirdo shit. That's just weirdo shit. For real, for real. Just weird. Just 100% weird. All the time. And again, like, cause I used to make these videos back on my old channel, bro. Gito RDX talking about this shit. Like some of my first videos talking about this shit. And the shit really hasn't changed. The shit hasn't changed. Again, if you're a cool white dude or you're just a cool non-black person, then it's just like I got no problem with you. When you start acting stupid, like I said, just stay where you are and just don't be around me. Just for your own safety. For your own safety, just be where you are. Don't come around me, bro. Cause I'm not with the bullshit. I'm not playing no game. I'm the type of person that I'm not trying to, no. I'm trying not to catch a case. You know what I'm saying? I'll stay strong in my convictions. And whoever, like I said, whoever you agree you want to be cool with me, then it's all right. But when you start acting funny, I mean, what the fuck you want me to say? You know, I'm just supposed to sit up there and not say nothing? Like I said, I mean, all this bullshit about all these different parties and political parties and progressive Democrats and Republicans. No, I'm the black party, motherfucker. I'm trying to do shit and I support shit for my group. And again, if you got a problem with that, then you got a problem. Do you really think I care about your problem? Do you really think I give a fuck? But going back to the topic at hand, though. Going back to the topic at hand, there's something wrong, mentally wrong with you if you got a problem with women in your safe space. Wasn't that the whole thing about that whole safe space things? Talking about all the SJWs want a safe space. Don't you use video games as your safe space, but then make videos when people talking about the shit? I mean, isn't that what y'all do? I mean, somebody talk about, oh, the white dudes that play video games are racist. Like I said, I'm not saying all. I'm just saying this is what people be saying. I mean, somebody does say that. I mean, don't y'all make videos because somebody's talking about you and your safe space? I mean, come on, dude. Stop with the bullshit, man. whining all the motherfucking time like a bitch. But like I said, I'm not saying there's a lot of white dudes and a lot of white people that play video games that they're just on some cool shit. I ain't got no problem with them. Like I said, if they're cool, they're cool. Fuck it. We can hang out. We can do whatever, motherfucker. But you start whining and acting funny. What the fuck you want me to, again, what the fuck you want me to say, bro? You want me not saying nothing about this shit, bitch? Fuck that. But anyway, this is going on long enough. I just had to make this shit, let it be known. I'm just look. The one reason why I made this shit, one of the reasons why I made this shit, because I'm letting it be known. I'm letting it be known where I stand. So there's no confusion of my stand in any of this shit. There's no confusion. None whatsoever. You know exactly where I stand. So when I start saying something, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised about nothing. Just be like, oh, we just know where the dude stand. So it's not a surprise. You don't be bamboozled. None of that shit. You just know to get down, and just everybody acts accordingly. You know what I'm saying? On some real shit. You just know where I stand. Cause I just don't want motherfuckers to sit up there and be all surprised about nothing. You know what I mean? Just don't be surprised. I'm an open book. They be like, this is me. This is my get down. This is where I stand. So don't be surprised when I start saying something. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's it. I don't have a problem with groups of people. Different groups of people, I have no problem. But they have a problem with me. But that's I'm gonna just leave it at that. And I'm gonna just, just say money over stank holes. And stank holes, the holes part, that can mean anybody. Man, woman, whatever. That can mean anybody. So I'm out. Money over stank holes, bro.